and adult.
Money? Any money?
Do the pictures have to be taken at the Autobahn, or can they be taken anywhere in the world?
This year, I believe they can be taken anywhere.
And other years they've been restricted to just the Autobahn?
Right, right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Any money in this?
There are awards, yes.
Okay. Are there awards money? So you gotta pique this audience's interest.
Right, right.
You talk money, their ears, like mine, go right up just like that.
Right,
You know.
there you go.
Okay, the Ottoman Society is having a contest for photographers. You'll get fame and fortune from it, I'm sure. Okay, birding around here. There's somebody. Dick Miga was a very well-known bird watcher, and he was on state level on the societies, and he had a bird watch count up here. Do they still do that now?
We actually, there are 4 different counts that we do in Chautauqua County during the course of a year, and so but I know that Dick also had a specific count that he held just for I believe a weekend. But the official counts that we do is the Christmas bird count, which is a part of National Audubon Society, and that's been going on for over 50 years.
How does the count work now? If you see a certain bird, you call it in, or what?
Well, the counts are generally 24-hour counts, so a person can either look out their window and see what birds they see, keep track of it, and then report it in, or you can go out to their favorite place to walk and watch birds. So there are different opportunities there, different ways. But one of the things I love about the bird counts is that we do have feeder watches, as well as people who go out and spend almost 20 plus hours out on the road looking for birds.
Well, feeder watches are wonderful. I had a bunch of feeders. You know, you could take a plain 2-liter Coke bottle, take the label off, and just make a cut into it, punch a few holes in the bottom of it, and keep the cap on, and hang it, and put your bird seed in there. It works like a charm. I did learn that having feeders, and my neighbor particularly, you see an awful lot of wonderful little squirrels in the feeder.
Oh, yes.
They come and you don't know the genius of a squirrel to get to that feeder. I mean, you think there's no way that squirrel can get to it. They'll get there. Somehow or the other, they get there. I don't know how they do it, but I've seen them.
And part of the enjoyment there also is watching them as they make the efforts, whether they're successful or unsuccessful. They keep working at it, and that's fun to watch.
Yeah, seeing them
puzzle it out,
spring from a tree, trying to get to it, and missing it.
Right.
Or scrambling up. And now you can grease the pole or put metal things around it to keep them off the pole. But I'll tell you, they still get up there, and of course the problem is they're greedy. They just knock it all apart and take all the seeds.
Well, yeah.
All right, the bird feeders are a wonderful idea, and you can set them up so the squirrels can't get to them. You just have to be genius about it. And
more now, people also are having problems with the bear population.
Oh, they dig into them too, huh?
Well, yeah, they really do damage. So some people have to now bring them in at night because there's an increasing bear population.
Well, you leave some meat
county.
out. Maybe the bear would eat that, you know.
They'll eat both, yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with a nice bear, a grizzly bear? Oh, no, we don't have those here. We have
just
black
the
bears.
Black bears, yes.
They are a lot of them around.
Yes.
There are things when we were kids you don't see. We never saw coyotes.
Right.
Black bears all over the place. I mean, they were in here, but you never saw one. And turkeys.
Turkeys.
Now, that's a bird. Tell me, how did the turkeys get here?
Well, the turkey population was, as they say, almost completely extirpated from the area. But
that means what?
They were hunted out, killed off. Yeah. But now that there is a return of wooded areas, that there's an increase in the turkey population.
Well, I understand they brought a bunch of turkeys up from Pennsylvania and set them loose up here, and they've taken off like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
You see turkeys everywhere now, and of course, the more turkeys, the more coyotes.
Yeah.
There's a deer-fox ratio with rabbits, and when the deer are heavy, the rabbits are low and the foxes are low.
Right.
And of course, because the deer trample a lot of little baby bunnies. That's that's the truth. And the foxes eat them. And so, it's kind of an environmental thing anyway. The birds, I see less birds, frankly.
Yeah.
Are there less birds? Or is it just that I don't see so well anymore?
I don't know that there are less birds. We have times when people report to us that like the goldfinches, that they don't see the goldfinches, and sometimes we can relate it to the amount of snow we've had, and sometimes we can relate it to where they're finding food. But I think there's a shift in the bird population. But that's why something like the Christmas bird count or the BOS count that we call it, the Buffalo Ornithological Society count, why they're so important, because they do show us the trends over the years, and that's scientific evidence of what's going on with the bird populations.
Crows all over the place.
Lots of crows.
You know what a bunch of crows is called, don't you?
Oh, I've forgotten.
A murder.
Murder, that's there.
And I have them all over my place, and you should see what they do to my car. It's murder.
Yeah.
Even today on the parking lot.
Right.
But the crows, back when I was a kid, crows and owls are natural enemies. The crows love to pester and to attack the owls during the day when they can't see, they really aren't active. And the owls, they love to kill crows.
Right. So, they take advantage.
And back when I was a kid, there was an open season on crows. You could shoot a crow anytime you wanted, because the farmers disliked them very much. They would, when you put out a planting of corn or something, the crows pluck it out of the earth and they eat the kernels.
Sure.
And they can do a devastating amount of damage.
Right.
We got 2 calls. You want to take one?
Sure.
Okay. First in line. Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning. Thank you. I have a mystery on my hands every year, and I'm not sure what the answer is. We have a lot of hummingbirds at our house. And right now, I don't know where they are. Are they nesting?
Yes, they would most definitely be nesting now. So you're not thinking that you see as many. I've seen the normal number of hummingbirds. One of the things I think is we had such a cold and wet spring that it may have affected where the hummingbirds ended their migration. We've also noticed that some of it seems like maybe some of the swallows, there's a lesser number of them. And the birds that really depend on the flowers and the insects had a very difficult spring. But they should be around, and if you have a feeder, they probably are feeding young now, so you might see increased.
There's a mixture you make, and they seem to like red. Is that
they
true?
like the color red. That's,
is that true?
That is true.
Huh.
And the other thing is the mixture should be just plain sugar and water, 4-to-1 ratio.
4
and
water, 1 sugar.
Right.
And you just put it in a little bottle or something. They have feeders.
Well, you boil it. You should. It should be boiled.
It
should be boiled first, and then put out for them. So it's very easy to do. And yes, it helps to have something red or orange that sort of will attract them in the first place, like a flower would.
How about that?
Yep.
Okay, caller, does that help you a little?
Thank you very much.
Okay, keep feeding them hummingbirds. They are. I love them. They're beautiful.
Right.
I saw one ruby-throated hummingbird one time, and they zip around my porch. I used to put out a feeder, but nobody used it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take that second call.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Good morning, caller. Thank you for waiting.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning on this beautiful morning. What time
Isn't it hilariously beautiful? It's absolutely wonderful.
Well, what time is the rain coming?
There is no rain.
No rain.
Oh, no rain at all? Oh, I
No
can't
rain.
believe that.
Nope,
There's got to be rain
no rain.
somewhere. Okay, good. I'm glad. We could do with a rainless day. I have a question for your guest, and it's been brought to my attention that the Audubon Society sponsors or puts on what they call like a day camp.
Yeah, we have a very large day camp program, and so it will be starting up in the end of June and going through the first part of August. It's 4 days a week, and for various age groups and various topics, and it's actually about a half of the camps are already full. So if you're interested, you want to go to our website.
Get there quick, huh?
Yeah, JamestownAudubon.wordpress.com, and look on there, and we keep an up-to-date listing there of which camps are open and how many openings there are. So
that's what I was wondering, if they have camps scattered throughout the county so that everybody can go.
Well, no, the camps are at our center at 1600 Riverside Road.
Oh,
so right.
Is that a big acreage area or something?
We have 600 acres
Woo!
there, and so we have camps everywhere from preschoolers to high school kids. Opportunities for camp.
Now, what do they do at the day camps?
Well, there are different themes for each day camp. For example, there's nature nuts, and for kids around the 3rd grade, and for the teenagers, we do field trips to different parks. There's we have one that's focused on technology this year. That has we actually will have a robotic bird that flies, so that
Really?
kids can
How
see
interesting.
that. So
Get the boys drawn in on that one.
Right. So we have different, but they all focus on being outdoors and enjoying nature, and most of them are on our grounds.
Is this how many years have you been doing this?
Oh, since I really don't know, but since very near the inception of the Audubon.
How many kids do you do?
A long time. Huh?
Oh, we see over 200 kids.
And what are the age limits?
Well, like I say, we have different camps, and they start with 4-year-olds and go up through teenagers.
Great. Sounds like a great program. You know, so one of the most popular hobbies in Senior City is bird watching. And you're bringing on new bird watchers at a younger level. That's fantastic.
We definitely do. We've got a lot of bird banding programs, and that's something that people are very interested in. And we have a bird bander that's coming out many Saturdays this summer, because it's a part of once again a research program to see what species are breeding. So that's also another.
Do you have any programs geared towards seniors?
We do, and thank you for asking that question, because we are just announcing this week a whole series of programs, 16 different programs we will be offering in July for adults and families.
Oh, wow.
And this is a special effort that we've put together, and there will be things like night owl walks and insect identification at night with a blue light, and daytime programs about edible plants, and just all kinds of very, very interesting topics that we think will bring many people to the Audubon. And so that also is on our website.
And I have one more question.
Sure.
Do you have any trails or anything that are handicapped accessible?
We certainly do. We have a trail, and it's about a 1/4-mile trail that's blacktop that goes from the parking lot out to a wonderful overlook, and it's all accessible, and the entire inside of the building is accessible. So it's a wonderful place to come. We also have what we call the window on wildlife, which has a microphone to the outdoors, and then bird feeders. So you can just come and sit and watch from the inside if it's a hot day or if it's a rainy day.
There you go.
Oh, that's really neat. Make sure you give your number out a couple times, because, I'm sure there's other people that would be very interested.
Go ahead.
Sure. So it's 569-2345. And our website is www.jamestown.audubon. It's AUDU.
That shows you of the older age group like me, because you don't need you don't need it anymore. You got Google. You just put in Audubon and Jamestown, and they'll give you the site.
There you go.
Well, hey, I seem to have been of an even older group where I didn't even think of going online. I just, telephone number, give me a telephone number.
Certainly.
Okay, thank you very much. You've been
thank you, caller,
enlightening.
and send me a stamped envelope. I'll give you a couple of $5 gifts over at the Lakeview, that beautiful little restaurant at the foot of the hill in Mayville. And do they have a salad bar that kills? And they have plenty of birds around it. Geese, particularly on the lake.
There we go.
You know there are more geese and ducks than there were when the white man came here to the United States?
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, they are very prolific. They can have they can each raise 12 to 15 chicks a year, each pair, and they have no natural enemies to speak of that can catch them.
Right.
Used to be the hunters were avid hunters of ducks and,
Right.
and the blind. But now with the federal regulations and the state regulations and the complexity of it and the huge amounts they want for the special licenses and everything, and you have to have a dog, you have to have a duck blind, you have to have special ammunition and gun. Most people just gave up. They said the decoys alone cost more than the ducks, the lifetime of buying just duck meat at the supermarket. So there's no